Hello children, how are you? I hope all are safe and fine at home. So today we are going to start about the first chapter in your civics, that is our constitution. So before starting our chapter, I'll give you introduction about the 11 chapters which are there in your civics, that is social and political life. So first chapter is our constitution, second chapter secularism, third chapter our parliament, fourth chapter the making of laws, fifth chapter union executive, sixth chapter judiciary, 7 chapters The Police and the Court, 8 chapter Social Justice and Marginalization, 9 chapter Untouchability, 10th chapter The Government and Economic Development, 11th chapter is Laws and Social Justice. Okay, let's start with the first chapter, our Constitution. Dear children, in this chapter we'll study about these topics, that is our Constitution, its meaning, the role or the need for the Constitution, and features of the Constitution. So let's start with the meaning of the Constitution. Yes, a Constitution is a fundamental legal document that contains the rules according to which government of a country functions. These rules or the laws are called as the basic laws. These laws are superior to all the laws of a country. Yes, children, a constitution signifies the independence. It establishes the main organs of the government. They are the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. A constitution defines the powers and responsibility of each organ of the government. It regulates the relationship between the three organs and also with the people. It also enumerates our rights and duties as citizens. It contains our national goals such as democracy, secularism, and socialism. To achieve these goals, it envisages various plans for implementation by the government. Every constitution gets meanings and content only from the manner in which and by whom it is operated. In this way, our constitution is very important to us. It is our foremost duty to respect our constitution. Yes, so a constitution is the law written in the constitution act as a source according to which the rules and regulation of a governing country are framed. So dear children, this is a picture when Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of a country, signing the Indian Constitution. So here we'll come to the next topic of a lesson, that is the role or the need for the constitution. Here we'll study why we need the constitution, why every country need a constitution, what is the reason behind it. Every organization or society needs certain rules and regulations for its smooth functioning. For example, we play so many games like cricket, football, etc. Each game has some rules according to which it is played. These rules also defines the game. They also help us in distinguishing the game from another game. Like these games, a society or country also needs some fundamental rules that are included in the constitution. These rules makes it what it is and differentiate it from the other kind of societies. That is why most countries in the world have a constitution. In a democratic country like India, the importance of constitution is more significant. So let's study its importance in India. So first, a constitution is needed for the following reasons. In a democratic government, the citizens participate in the functioning of government directly or indirectly. It is constitution in which the government, power and citizens' rights are clearly defined. It prevents the government from misusing its rights and thus safeguards the rights of the citizens. Second, a constitution is not a mere document but a living document. This means that it constantly grows and evolves according to its needs, requirements, and aspirations of the people of a country. It consists of certain ideals that forms the basic of the country and we want as citizens. That is, it tells us the fundamental nature of a society. For example, after independence, we adopted a constitution that reflects the ideal of our country. Similarly, Nepal adopted a new constitution in order to usher in a new society when it moved from a monarchy to a democratic government. A country is usually made up of different communities of people. The constitution helps serve as a set of rules and principles that all persons in a country can agree upon. The constitution defines the nature of a country's political system. In a democracy, we choose our leader so that they can exercise the powers responsibly on our behalf. But often they misuse their authority. The constitution lays down some rules that guards against this misuse of power by our political leaders. See, children, this is a preamble of a constitution. This shows us what features we have in our Indian constitution. Our constitution starts with a preamble. A preamble means an introduction in which the purpose of the constitution is given. It contains the ideals and the basic principles of Indian constitution. Our constitution wants to achieve these goals. So in this constitution, we have several features. So let's start one by one. The salient features of a constitution are as follows. First, a detailed written constitution. Yes, our constitution is the lengthiest constitution in the world. No other constitution has gone into such minute detail as Indian constitution. Originally, it was divided into 22 parts, 395 articles and 8 schedules. Later on, 4 more schedules were added to it. It elaborates not only the governmental structure at the central, state and local level, but also gives details on citizenship, rights and duties of the people, directive principles of state policy, union-state relations, election, etc. Our constitution maker did not want any portion of the constitution to be vague or unclear. So they made it lengthiest and clear. Next is provision for the amendment. Our constitution is a living document, as I said earlier. That is, it is changeable. It is constantly growing and evolving according to the needs, requirements and aspirations of the people. In the constitution itself, a procedure has been laid down by which changes can be brought about. Such changes are called as amendments. These amendments are made to remove the difficulties that arises from the time to time. Yet the third feature of a constitution is a sovereign democratic republic. India is a sovereign country. This means that it is free from the external control or power. It can frame its own policies. It cannot be dictated by any other foreign country. India is a democracy. Yes, because people of India elect their government at all levels by the method of universal adult franchise. India is also a republic. This means that the head of the nation, that is the president, is elected by people's representative. Our president is not a hereditary ruler like a British monarch. Next feature is a socialist and secular country. Yes, our country is a socialist and secular country. The preamble declares that India is a socialist and secular country. Democracy with universal adult franchise ensures political equality to its citizens. The constitution also has provision to promote social and economic equality in India. It prevents social inequality or discrimination on the basis of caste, creed, color, sex or education. It also has provisions to bridge the gap of economic inequality between the people. India is a secular country. This means that all citizens, irrespective of their religion, beliefs, are equal before the law of the land. The state does not officially promote any religion as state religion. In other words, the government cannot frame such policies that discriminate between various religious communities of India. Next is federalism. Our constitution sets up a federal system of a government. India has government at the central level and at the state level. It also has government at the local level. India is a vast country. It would have been difficult to run the administration of the whole country from one center. That is why, beside the government at the national level, we have government at state level. Our constitution demarcates the power of the central and the state government into different lists of subjects. These lists are the union list, the state list, and the concurrent list. Next is parliamentary system. The legislature in the center is called as the parliamentary or the Sansad. India has a parliamentary form of government. This means that Parliament is supreme and represents the people of the country. Our constitution guarantees universal elect suffrage for all citizens. That is, the people of India have a direct role in electing their representatives. These representatives are accountable to the people. See, dear children, this is a parliament house of a country. Now, next is separation of powers. As per our constitution, there are three organs of the government: the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. The legislature consists of an elected representative who makes the law. The executive implements these laws. It is a smaller group of our elected representative. The judiciary refers to a system of courts that interprets the laws. The Constitution not only defines the power of each organ, it demarcates the responsibilities of each. Each organ acts as a check on other organ of the government that ensures the balance of power among all these three organs. Next, we'll study about the fundamental rights. As you all know, there are 6 fundamental rights given to the citizens of a country. Our constitution guarantees certain basic rights to every citizen of India, which are called as fundamental rights. These rights are essential not only to run democratic government, but also for an individual citizen to develop his or her personality. They are fundamental to every citizen's life, and therefore they are called as fundamental rights. These rights protect citizens against arbitrary and absolute exercise of power by the government. Our constitution has guaranteed 6 rights that are follows: right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational right, right to constitutional remedies. So these are the 6 fundamental rights given by our constitution to every citizen of our country. So now I'll explain you in which articles these are mentioned. So first, right to equality is mentioned in the article 14 to article 18. Now next, our right to freedom, it is mentioned in the article 19 to 22. Third, right against exploitation, it is mentioned in article 23 to article 24. Next, cultural and educational rights, which are mentioned in the article 29 to 30. And last, right to constitutional remedies, it is mentioned in the article 30 to 35. First, right to equality. According to our constitution, all citizens will be equally protected by the laws of the country. That is, all persons are equal before the law. The state cannot be discriminate against a citizen on the basis of race, caste, sex, religion, or place of birth. The practice of untouchability has been abolished. Every citizen has access to all the public places such as playgrounds, shops, hotel, etc. Now next is right to freedom, which is mentioned from the article 19 to 22. Our constitution has given the right to freedom to every citizen. Under this right, a citizen has the right to freedom of speech and expression, the right to form associations, the right to move freely and reside in any part of the country. Next is right against exploitation. Poverty makes people helpless. The rich take advantage of poor's helplessness. Poor people are often compelled to work without payment. This is called as forced labor or begar. So, the right against exploitation prohibits trafficking, forced labor, and working of children who are under age of 14 years. Next comes right to freedom of religion. Every citizen in India has the right to worship, practice, and propagate his or her religion. In the eye of the laws, all religions are equal, and each one of us should pay respect to their religions. Next comes cultural and educational rights. Our constitution recognizes the right of each group of people to establish and maintain educational institution of its own in order to preserve and develop their language and culture. Last, right to constitutional remedies. This gives authority to citizens to move the High Court and Supreme Court if they believe that any of their fundamental rights have been violated by the state. All these rights are binding upon every authority that has got the power to make law. Next comes the last feature of our constitution, that is directive principles of state policy. Our constitution gives some directives to the government to improve the condition of the people. These principles help the government to make social economic reforms in the country. They direct the government to work for reducing the poverty of masses and to bring economic and social prosperity of the nation. So dear children, here we come to end of this chapter. In next video, I'll tell you about these fundamental rights and these directive principles of state policy in detail. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day.